I've had some people that are subscribed to this channel that are not part of the music courses at my college ask for worksheets or ways to study using some of the videos from there. The Music 100 class has a lot of videos that take you from learning how to read your notes and how to spell your chords and integrate them with scales so you can use them for writing and things. And what I thought I'd do is I'd organize some of those videos into playlists. So there's a chords, learning your chords playlist with some of those videos. And inside the course, it'll say, oh, here's how you put together a basic triad. It has the following notes, like an A triad will have an A, C, and an E. B triad will have a B, D, F. C triads will have a C, E, G. And there's a couple videos in there, and I'll put the link in the description of this video straight to that primer video, I think, first. And then the next video is saying, oh, cut out your flashcards and practice with them. And then after you've gotten some basic practice, we have an assignment to do this worksheet, which is a bunch of self-timed tests. And what this is going to do is it's going to help you with chord recognition, because the notes don't always come in order when you see them in music or when they're thrown at you. And so in addition to just spelling them from the bottom up, root, third, fifth, the students will take these short timed quizzes. You time yourself and then they check them against an answer key. And so what I thought I'd do is I would just do this with you. There's actually 6 of these things, and what I'll do is I'll go through this in a non-timed way. In other words, you're practicing with me. One of the things we try and do in this course is to train you to be a good amateur musician, which means not just what it is, but how to get good at it. So first you learn to spell these triads, just spell them with flashcards. Then we have quizzes like this where it mixes up the notes and you have to figure out what kind of chord it is, and later we add notation and things. And then once we integrate this with scales, well, actually even before then we'll start to add sharps and flats to make them major and minor and diminished and augmented. And then we integrate them with scales so that you can see what the chords do in different positions of the scales. And once that happens, we can talk about their function in songs. And so, with just a few pieces of theory, if you teach them and integrate them correctly, you start to understand how songs go together. And so you can use it for analysis, but you can also use it for personal writing and things like that as well, or to understand why songs work the way they work. Anyhow, this is just one step right here to help you get better at it. If this is not for you, then you don't need to watch this video, of course, but hopefully some people out there will find the practice along useful. And then if I have some students that are struggling in the courses, I can also point them to this, and it'll be like a study session. So maybe we'll just do the first side of this and not the other side, because it'll probably take about 10 minutes to get through this, and then I'll do another video. If you want to do more, there's another set of these, okay? So this test presumes you already know how to spell your basic triad notes. A chords have an A, a C, and an E. B chords are B, D, and F. C chords are C, E, G. D chords are D, F, A. And E chords are E, G, B. F chords are F, A, C. G chords are G, B, D, and then it starts over again. If you don't know that part, you should go and look at that other video and practice that. If you are right there, then practice along with me. All right, we won't worry about timing ourselves or anything like that. Let's just go through this. You see the following notes, G, B, and E. What kind of chord is this? Well, you go in your head and you say, is it a G chord? G chords have G, B, and D. Very close, but not quite. Is it a B chord? B chords are B, D, F. Not that. E chords are E, G, B. That's the one. So this is an E chord. Don't worry about major, minor, anything like this. And this is just giving us iterations or practice, repetitions, okay? This chord right here, is it an A chord? A chords are spelled ACE, A-C-E. This one's just in straight order. That is correct right there, okay? Right here, this is an F-A-D. F chords are F-A-C, not quite, right? F-A-C. A chords are A-C-E. We just did one right there. It's not that. D chords are D-F-A, and that's correct. That's that one right there. They've come in a funny order. Music doesn't always go in the same order that you spell things in. All right, here's another potential F chord, but F, A, C does not match. B, D, F, right there. The mnemonic that we use in our class is best darn fries, right? And that's B, D, F. So, and if I'm going too fast, you can usually put a YouTube video at 0.75 or 0.5 and my voice will sound funny, and you can just, go slower, or you can pause it and try and do some of these ahead of time and see how you do. Or if you're really good at this and you just want to speed through, put me at 1.5 or even 2.0 and see if you can keep up. All right, let's just start to go through these. B chords, if it's a B chord, it's a BDF, best darn fries, and it's not that because this is BDG. If it's a D chord, it's DFA, right? DFA, it's not that. Is it a G chord? GBD, it is a G chord, right? Right there. Keg, CEG. If you watch the other video, you know why I call that keg, but that's a C chord because CEG is the way we spell it. This is not a C chord, even though it's starting with a C, because we know that C chords are C, F, Gs. In fact, it's F, A, C. F, A, C, so F chord, all right? I'm just going to start going through these and saying these spellings. EGB, close but not quite. GBD, now you're saying, where are the notes coming from? I'm spelling the notes from a G chord. GBD doesn't match. CEG, CEG, that matches. So I'm positing each one of these in my head. C chord. BDF, best darn fries. It's a B chord right there, okay? B chords, BDF, best darn fries are not the notes here. If it's an E chord, it's an EGB, EGB, right? We call that one Egbert. It's just a name, okay? GBD, that's in order. It's a G chord. DFA, DFA, that's in order as well. FAC, FAC, that's also in order. It's an F chord. E, well, we know that E chords are EGB. We just did one right here. So it's not going to be an EGB, because it's EAC. Now, eventually you'll get fast at this and you'll start to recognize and go like, oh, that's ACE. It's not in the right order, but it's just ACE. It's an A chord right here. This is also ACE. It's just in a different order, right? I mean, you say, well, why is that? Well, I mean, if you had these notes, well, they could come ACE, but they might go EAC, or they might go CEA or something. They can come in any order, but it still makes up an A chord, okay? We know that this is an ACE. It's not going to be this. It's going to be a D or an F chord, and F chords are FAC, right? Try not to look back at this except just to confirm for the learning. You want to be able to just say, well, what is this, right? You don't want to have a list of all of them here and then checking back to them all the time. You want to be able to confront this right there. DFA is the chord. This is a D chord right there. It's not a DFA chord. We just did one of those. This is a GBD chord. GBD, right? This is not an A chord. That would be ACE. It's close, right? It's not a C chord. That would spell keg, right? Where was that there, right? It's FAC, FAC. And then this is keg. It's not a G chord, GBD, but it is a CEG, right? Here's EGB in order. And this is not a D chord, DFA, right, is what we saw earlier up here. It is, in fact, best darn fries, a B chord, right? Now, my students, what they have to do is they have to time themselves, check an answer key, give themselves a score, and then they have to wait 10 minutes before they do the next one, because we want you to have a burst, and then we want you to take a little time away, and then we want you to do another one. I'm going to continue on and do these right now for the sake of the video, but since it's a video, you could stop, right? And this is 21 out of 21. I don't know how long it took, okay? And what I find is if a student has watched those videos, has used their flashcards for maybe 2 or 3 10-minute sessions with these basic information, and then they come and do this, they can start as much as like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 minutes to do this. But by the time they get done all of these and then the ones on the other side, they're all under 2 minutes. Some of them are under a minute. They're really fast. It's really good. Okay, and then that gives us a solid foundation on which we can start talking about adding sharps and flats and what's a major triad and what's a minor triad and stuff. Okay, all right, that's enough break. Let's do this next one right here. I'm going to go through this and I'm going to talk less. Here we go. Not DFA, but yes, GBD, not BDF, because we've already found it. This is DFA, DFA, right? This is FAC or FAC in root position, right? This one here is not ace. That would have been the A chord. In fact, it's a D, F, A, kind of like that one right there. So it's a D chord. This is not keg, right? C, E, G. This is F, A, C, FAC. So it's an F chord. This is also not ace. In fact, it's F, A, C. So it's another F chord. This is not a GBD chord. It is, in fact, a C, E, G, or keg chord, right? See, this is not a best darn fries, close. It's a GBD, GBD, right? Okay. And there's my keg, C chord. And it's almost GBD, but it's not quite. It's in fact EGB, EGB, right? So that's E chord. Here's my ace spelled in order. This is not an EGB chord. In fact, it's another EAC, ace chord right there. And it's not EGB, so close. It's actually CEG, keg, right? And this is best darn fries, B. And this is EGB. We actually call this Egbert. Actually, I speak Japanese, and so we actually make a mnemonic out of this. We go, there's a word in Japanese which is called ijimeru, means to bug somebody. We pretend we're poking them, and so we go iji instead of ijime. Ijime, we go EGB, EGB, and we kind of, make fun of the word. And then whenever it comes up, everybody in the class pokes each other, goes EGB, and that's just a silly way to remember that. Just like keg is like C says ka, and so we say, oh, it's like a keg of beer, and then we say, but it's a Canadian keg of beer, so CEG, and then they just remember that. It's like the drinking chord from Canada. All right, not DFA, it's best darn fries, best darn fries. Oh, sorry, this was an E, this is a B, right? This is not a best darn fries, this is an EGB, EGB, right there, so, okay, and then this is GBD in order, right? G chord, and this is not a FAC, FAC, it's DFA, right? D chord. And this happens to be not FAC, FAC, but best darn fries, right? You start getting good at seeing these, and this is ace, but in the wrong order, A, C, E, right? Although if you're new, you might go, is it a C chord? No. Is it an E chord? No. Is it an A chord? Yes. Okay. And, well, we got 21 as well. We're going faster. Okay. See, there's the last one here on this page. All right, I'm just going to go through these. I'm going to pause, and then I'm just going to point. And if you're practicing with me, you might go through that on your own. Is it F, B, or D? Or maybe you just see it by now. This is best darn fries. This is FAC. This is the pester you word, EGB, EGME, right? EGME, EGB, right? Okay, so E. This is also a mixed up best darn fries. This one here, best darn something, but not fries. It's GBD. This one here is ace. Yeah. This one here is not ace and not, well, not like FAC. It's DFA, right? Okay. This one right here is also DFA, right? Oops, I got this wrong. My apologies. Huh. D, right? And this is not best darn fries. This is GBD right there. And this is FAC, FAC, right? And this is keg, right? If we put that over there. So this is a C chord right there. And this is keg in order. And this is ace in order, right? And this is not GBD, it's EGB, right? Okay, but this is GBD in order, and this is DFA in order, and this is FAC in order, and this is EG, almost EGB, it's CEG, it's keg, and this is ACE, ace, and this is best darn fries again, and this is EGB, EGB, right there, okay? All right, you know what? I don't want to make a second video. If you don't need to practice with me, you've probably already clicked off of this anyway. We're just going to speed through these other three. And I know we should put time in between, but for the sake of the video, you can stop and pause and come back if you'd like. These don't get any harder. It's just iteration. What we hope is that you you, in practicing like this, get to see these things, and pretty soon, rather than having to go through each possibility, you see the three notes as a cluster, even though they don't necessarily come in the same order. That's how we perceive music sounds when they come together. It could be like a C, G chord could be like this, but it could also be G, C, E, and it could be E, G, C, or they can even be spread out from each other, but we hear them as a group, and so we want to see these creatively as a group together. And you know, there's a criticism that could be leveled, like, why aren't we looking at real notes on the page and things, or real examples of music? We do in the class eventually, but a lot of the class is made of, let's strip away everything and just do one thing and get really good at it. It's not unlike practicing. You divide, or many things, you take a complex task structure and break it into small pieces, and then you work on little bits until all the disparate pieces become strong, and then you put them together and it's effortless, right? Okay, here we go. I'm just going to check to make sure we're still on camera. Looks good. All right, this is a keg. I'm just going to go 3, 2, 1. GBD, FAC, GBD. I know that's not the order, but I'm saying them in order. Best darn fries. EGB. Best darn fries. DFA. Best darn fries. Oh, there's a lot of those in a row. This is ACE, right? A. This is keg. This is DFA. This is FAC. This is GBD. This is DFA. This is FAC. This is EGB, spells beg, interesting. This is ACE. That's EGB. This is ACE spelled in order, and that's, my bad, sorry, ACE spelled in order. I should like lol. And then this is keg right there. Okay. All right, get ready. We're going to do the next ones. And I'm just going to go at this length. You could always break this up. You don't have to do them all at one time. Again, though, if you're in the class and you needed this as a review, if it wasn't working for you, I can send you back here. We don't have to arrange a meeting time. You can use this as a resource. Okay, here we go again. GBD. Have a look at it. DFA. FAC. EGB. FAC. EGB. Keg. Best darn fries. Best darn fries. ACE. Keg. C chord. DFA. FAC. DFA. Best darn fries. ACE. GBD. ACE. EGB. GBD. Keg. Okay. All right. Let's do this last one. I'm just going to go for it. So this is what, if you can just see them, this is what it'll be. You'll go A, E, E, G, F, D, C, B, D, F, G, F, C, B. If you're smart, you can just go backwards too. This is a G, and then it's sort of hard for you to see. I'm left-handed. I'll go over here. E, A, C, A, D, B. And that's about how fast you'll just see them go. It's one of those. It's one of these. It's one of those. Okay. All right. I don't know if that was useful for you. I hope it was. Not for everybody, and that's fine. But like I said, in my class, in addition to the classes we teach, in addition to saying, what is it? We try and teach you how to get good at it, right? We present these kind of exercises to get you stronger and faster and more have more fluency in it, and high level of accuracy. That way, when we add another layer to it, like major and minor and stuff like this first part isn't a problem. Or if we add notation reading and stuff like that, you'll see the patterns in the music on the notes, and you'll go like, oh, it's one of these or it's one of those. And then when we add our scales in, we'll find that different ones group together to do different things. There's something called chord function and chord progression, and it has to do with what chords like to follow and work together with other chords, and what jobs do they have to do. So this is just the first step. Like I said, if you're interested in the pre-part of this, it'll be in the description, and there'll be a link to what you would do next as well. There's a couple more videos that go on and explain things. Eventually, I do have a web page, but it's I need a little technical help from one of my kids to make PDFs available to download, but eventually these will be available for people to download too. Okay? All right.